Happy Saturday! Time for an update on the Grizzly and how it's working here. So far, I'm very, very happy with how that thing is performing. Now it's just a longevity question to see to make sure that it can stand up to the dust from the frass and that everything is going to run and work for a long time. But what I'm noticing is it's working to help keep the dust down. So the Inkbird back there stays really low. It doesn't get above 20 for the 2.5. It doesn't get out of the 20s, maybe low 30s sometimes for the PM10. So it's doing its job. It's keeping things much lower from a particulate perspective. If this thing is not running, whenever I am sifting and harvesting, the PMs are going to get up into the 50s, 60s, sometimes into triple digits if it gets really bad. So I know that this thing is working. Couple things that I've noticed though. So the bottom tray, and just to recap, right now it is currently suctioning out of that, right? So I hook it up to that guy and it's pulling from the side. And a couple things are happening. One, from a top perspective, whenever I pour a tray into this, it is pluming a bit. And so I need to figure out a way to address that. I've got an idea, but let me talk about the other thing as well, because it'll go together here. The other thing I'm noticing is when I put the tray in this is the one that goes back and forth with the Sawzall. And what'll happen is it will start to kind of plume out of that tray. And for the most part, it seems to be pluming out and getting drawn back in until this gets a little bit full, maybe about 3/4 full. And then it doesn't have enough draw, or it changes the flow of the air here and it's coming out instead. So what I want to do is I want to connect this tray here, which stays in, to a lid for this, and basically make a shroud that goes around so that whatever separates from here just goes straight down in, and all the dust stays down in there and isn't being pulled, basically eliminating this as something that needs to be taken care of, because this is creating a lot of the dust, and I want to stop that and just have it all settle down into this tray or into this bucket. And so my plan for today is to try to retrofit this quickly before I get started harvesting, just to be able to play with it. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to squeeze a lid in here along with the shroud, but I'm going to try just to test the idea and see how it goes. But if I'm able to do that, what I would like to do then is to move this guy from here, I think, to the back. And so I'll just play around a little bit. I'm going to put this shroud in and I'm just going to leave everything because I need to get some work done today from a harvesting perspective. But I think what I'll do is put the connection in the back so that it's pulling everything away from me instead of to the side, and then see how that performs. What I'll likely do is then have to figure out some sort of hood where I'm also sucking up here to account for when I pour those trays in the top, and it's just pluming that stuff out. And so maybe two connections, one in between this tray and this tray here, and then one up here, like something right here potentially, because I need the vertical space here in order to flip the tray over. So I can't put a hood in on the top. And so as I'm working, I'll think through some ideas, but right now what I'm thinking is a connection back here, and basically what that will turn into is one hole here, tubes running, V them off, or Y, it'll be a Y into the unit, down into that guy. But just one change projected for today, because like I said, I got to get some work done. So I'm going to use some cloth. Years ago, I used to make my own bags. So I would cut these and sew them. So I still have the cloth, so I'm going to take some of that and use that for the shroud. And as I think through this, I'm starting to wonder if I'm going to have the space down there to be able to do this, or if I'm going to need to lower that down a little bit and change things up. So I will start working on that and get an update, and then I'm going to need to start harvesting because I've got this entire row, and I think that row, the ones in the back, we'll have to catch up on. Long day.